welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, October 12th, 2017. Disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk, and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you've had a great week so far. I am still fighting that cold, so I apologize again for my scratchy voice, but it doesn't prevent me from studying my charts, which is my passion and love, and sharing my homework and insights with you. So with that, let's get into today's video. I always start these videos off with a look at the Russell Index. I use it as my proxy for the markets overall. I just want to keep these videos simple and as short as possible, and as long as the Russell is moving higher in my mind, I'm adding new names to my watch list. And for that, we use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000, and I like to step back and take a look at it on the bigger time frame. So I start with the 5-year monthly, and as regular viewers well know, we've been keeping an eye on this wedge pattern that the Russell's been trading in really since the beginning of the year. So this blue line is long-term support, the orange is medium, and the purple line is more short-term support. The Russell really bounced around those ranges a lot from January until September, but the candle for the month of September was a bullish one, bringing us up and over our black diagonal was resistance, now support line. So interesting month of September. We'll see if we can continue or whether it will drift a little bit lower here, keeping a close eye in this area, but like to see that bullish orientation for the prior month. I'm going to move it away from the monthly to the 2-year weekly so we can better see how price is behaving. Same lines. You can better see the colors here, I think. So we're kind of ignoring this area for now. We've been just focusing in on this area here. So as you can well see, we're up and over that black diagonal line. The volume picked up as we went through. So this is nice to see. Going to move it away from the weekly now to the 6-month daily. We're consolidating here. The futures look a little soft to lower this morning. JP Morgan announced earnings. The banks are coming in, so the market is possibly looking for direction on those bank earnings, but we were keeping a close eye on this, and I will be drawing lines like this and say, okay, if it makes it through this consolidation, it's onwards and upwards. I like to keep things super simple, so I use this blue line, which is the 8-day EMA, as my guide and trigger. So when price is up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily chart of the Russell, I'm adding new names to my watch list, and I've got a new name to share with you this morning. And the chart I'm featuring this morning is one I've been waiting to put forward for a while now, and that is Cheniere Energy Partners, ticker symbol CQP, trades on the New York Stock Exchange. Before I get into the chart, though, let me tell you a little bit more about the company. They are an LNG limited partnership. It's a big one. They own properties in Louisiana, the Sabine Pass Channel. You can take a look and find out more on FinViz. You know, at Chart of the Day Cafe, I am all about value and growth. Number one, value, and this one has a really high value score. Love that. And it's got a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 43%. Rarely do I see numbers that high. It's got a current PE of 12.96 and a dividend yield of 5.94%. Love those scores. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. First thing I want you to note is overall it's in an uptrend. It's a bit of a gentle slope uptrend, but what I like about this chart, and again we're looking at the 5-year monthly, I like this consolidation through all of 2016. The volume coming in on the monthly, and then the lift we had in early 17. We've come in to retest this area. We had a nice looking bullish candle last month. So I think anywhere in here is starting to get pretty interesting for this company. So I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly. You can better see. I like this base building that happened here. This is the weekly chart. We had a nice strong weekly candle several weeks ago, and now we're in this area right here where I would expect in a continued rising market environment price on this to start picking up. So I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the 6-month daily, and here's what I like to see. So here's my orange line of support resistance on the base. So it had this base building, then we had this huge volume candle here that thrust us up and over my orange line of support resistance. And look at how it's been consolidating. Love this. So what I do is I just put a little line in here and I say, okay, on a break over this area, and yesterday was really close, it wants to move higher. So I'm going to put a little green circle. I'm going to move in a little bit on the 3-month. I put little green circles as my target. My target is really, I know it's a big green circle, but what I'm looking for is price to move over my black diagonal line, which is now resistance, and I want to see it up and over the blue 8-day EMA, which I use as my guide. And then as long as price stays up and over the 8-day, I'm good. So I put a little green circle in there. I know it's a big green circle, but it's really just, I'm an end of day decision maker. So at the end of the day, if it has a nice bullish candle, blue line, up and over this area, that would be my trigger. I just wanted to explain that. Along with our new watch list pick, I also like to take a look at the sector that it's in, and for that we're looking at XLE, which is the ETF for the energy sector overall. 2-year weekly chart, you can see on the 2-year it's in an uptrend. It dipped a little bit below my trend line here, but it recovered and is trading nicely. This is the weekly chart. That still looks pretty strong to me. I also like to take a look at FinViz and see if I've got analyst support for my new watch list pick. Now that's a bit choppy. It had a downgrade in June. But the scores, the chart override this, at least for me, but I wanted to share that with you. Also like to take a look at seasonality, and for that we go to equityclock.com. Really amazing site, love it. And you can see that on a seasonal basis, although it's a little wonky, it has seasonal favor through the back half of the year. So I like to know that as well. I'm also going to include a Bloomberg article that I archived last November that put this one on my radar. You've got to listen to it. This is the CEO, and he's talking about a huge secular shift into LNG. So I'll include this in the show notes along with another one talking about Hurricane Harvey and how their facilities were not too damaged and are good to go. So I think those are 2 interviews that I think are definitely worth listening to if you're interested in this name. And so to quickly recap, I started today's video with a look at the Russell Index, and we note the Russell's in an overall uptrend with price currently up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily chart. We looked at the sector that CQP is in, XLE. It's in an uptrend on the 2-year chart. CQP is in a long-term uptrend on the 5-year chart. 2-year chart looks good, and it's at an area of possible price continuation. It's got an excellent value score, excellent growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate of 43%. That's a nice high number. Current dividend yield of 5.94%. That's a wow dividend. I look for a 3 and 8 EMA cross. It has that already. Having said that, I'm looking for it to bounce up over my line of resistance that we drew on the chart. It's got seasonality in its favor. I'm going to let you check that if you want to. Analyst support needs a little bit more for me to check that box, but just wanted to highlight that for you. Current PE of 12.96, and it looks like earnings are going to be on November 2nd. As a reminder, these videos go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. I really work hard to screen for the very best value and growth charts I can find. I call them my diamonds. A lot of them do really, really well. And Canna triggered yesterday. This one looks terrific. AVGO. Vail, love this one here. So worth checking out. I compile and curate the most important information I think you need to make decisions about what you want to get involved in. With that, I'll leave you. Have a great weekend, and our next video goes out on Tuesday. Thanks for watching.